Hey, what up, everybody? Stephen Breach coming to you here today. I took my lunch at 4 o'clock in order to watch the beginning, the first hour of SummerSlam, because I wanted to see the first hour so I wouldn't be so far behind when I got off work at 9 o'clock. And come up here and sit down, and I get a blackout. I'm not even able to watch the show. I know that they send out that thing basically saying to log in 15 minutes before the show starts, but my lunch started at the time the show started. So I'm not able to watch SummerSlam now. And I've been a paid subscriber since day number one. This makes no sense to me that too many people are watching the WWE Network when I pay my $9.99 for, I guess, a year and a half now, I would guess, since it started last February. And I can't believe that they would lock, not like now that they're coming after me, myself, but it makes no sense. I just want to watch SummerSlam, the first hour. That's all I want to see. And I pay for it. I don't do any tricks where I sign up for a new email every month. This sucks. No way about it. I mean, this really sucks. So I don't know what I'm going to do, but I guess I'm going to have to wait until I get home and watch it then. It sucks. Big time. Blackout. Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stephen Breach coming to you here today. Had a shitty day at work today, but basically, on the way home, my wife surprised me with some In-N-Out burgers. So here I am. I have to watch SummerSlam 2015 on the on-demand section of the network. So this will be the start of my review. We're going to be starting off with the Randy Orton versus Sheamus match. Basically, I took my lunch at 4 o'clock today. I made a video about this earlier. And I was going to watch the first hour of SummerSlam due to the fact that it was a 4-hour show. So I thought maybe I could knock 1 hour out and be a little bit into the show when I got home. But during the Jon Stewart, being the host of SummerSlam, once Mick Foley came out, basically I was part of the WWE SummerSlam 2015 WWE Network Blackout. I don't know if anything has been put up on the news about this, if any of the sites. I sent a tweet to Brian Alvarez and Dave Meltzer. I told both of them that I know that they don't work for WWE, but they're very good at finding out information about what was going on. I don't know if WWE exceeded their amount of people on the network at once, but I tweeted WWE Network and let them know my frustration of being a subscriber that is foolishly paid for a WWE Network account since day number one. I've never even had my card lapse with them. I didn't get a $25 gift card and couldn't even watch SummerSlam 2015. Now, why they wouldn't block out the people that were getting it for free, I have no clue, but very frustrating. So Jon Stewart came out, he announced the whole card, ran down everybody was going to be there, getting ovation from everybody. Mick Foley came out, Blackout. Took me about at least 7 or 8 minutes before I was able to get back in and watch the show. Just basically press play now, and then basically the Blackout thing comes out, play now, and then finally one time it worked. Randy Orton came down to the ring. He had a fight with Sheamus. This was a very good match. I will say that Randy Orton is starting to lose his appeal with me. It's been a little bit of time since I saw him wrestle on that house show when he really started to win me over. But Sheamus got a clean victory. He didn't use the Money in the Bank briefcase. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. But basically, he hit Randy Orton with 2 brogue kicks after Randy tried for the RKO about 2 times. Sheamus was able to slip out of both of them. The brogue kick was enough to put it down. I really thought that Sheamus was going to get the win here just because of the fact that they were playing up the fact that this was a rematch from the last pay-per-view Battleground. And, Orton got the win on the last one, so Sheamus has to get the win on this one. They didn't really, play it up because of the way the victory went down. That it was a clean victory, but it wasn't like an overall, Sheamus kicked Orton's ass. Like they're going to go in 2 different separate directions. So I'm thinking Night of Champions. It's Orton versus Sheamus one more time, for it all. Trying to figure out some way to get out of this. Orton did hit an RKO early in the match, but it wasn't enough to knock Sheamus out because Sheamus rolled to the outside of the ring, was able to, recoup and get back into the match. But Sheamus gets the win, and we move on from there to the tag team titles match. tag team title match was a fun one. Primetime players, New Day, the Matadors, and the Lucha Dragons all going at it. This was a fatal 4-way, 1 pinfall, wins the whole deal. New Day came out first. These guys were really over with the crowd. If you don't watch anything from SummerSlam, find a way to see the shoes that Kofi Kingston was wearing for this match. They were beyond... What are those? They had feathers. It was like this was Kid Icarus, and he was gonna fly up and touch the sun. I have no clue where he got these from or what the idea was. I never seen anything like this, but this was beyond cool. They were making their entrance coming down to the ring, and they stopped. Xavier Woods, whoa, let's get this down. Kofi Kingston sang a song. Biggie Langston did a dance. Xavier Woods was playing a kazoo. This was beyond cool. The New Day stole Brooklyn. They were way over. This was a fun match. From there, the Lucha Dragons came out. The Matadors came out. Primetime players came down to a little bit of buzz for them as well. Very fun, very fast match. Lots of action. Of course, right off the bat, the New Day, who wrestled as Biggie Langston and Kofi Kingston with Xavier Woods on the outside. Biggie Langston stole a tag as somebody was bouncing out the corner, immediately got into the ring, laid down for Kofi to pin him, got the 1-2, but I believe Titus O'Neil was able to slip in and break up the pin. Lots of fast action off of this. Very, very fun match. Very hard to call and figure out what was going on with everybody. Everybody was stealing tags. It wasn't really a controlled tag match in most fatal 4-ways. It's hard to cut off somebody because you only have to keep them in one quarter of the ring instead of splitting the ring in half, because anywhere you go, there's someone waiting for a tag to get in there, because you have to make sure that you're able to win the match, but you're able to make sure that somebody else isn't able to pin somebody else. So you always have to be looking for some way to get in there and break this up. There was a fighting into the corner where I believe the Matadors were going for a double team move in the corner on the Lucha Dragons, and Titus O'Neil came up and did like a double suplex out of the corner, but it was Kofi Kingston able to slip in and steal the victory off of the big Titus O'Neil power move out of the corner. 1, 2, 3, New Day, new tag champs. They danced their way all the way to the back. The crowd was erupting in New Day rocks. New Day rocks. New Day rocks. Everybody was getting crazy. I will say that honestly, I was in the front of my store yesterday trying to sell fish, and one of the things trying to get people to come in was me doing the New Day clap, and I could not get it over, no matter how much I did. New Day rocks. New Day rocks. Nobody wanted to come over and buy fish from me, so I'm going to actually fire up the WWE Network, fast forward 1 hour, get into the Dolph Ziggler versus Rusev match, and this is where I'm going to pick up for tonight. Kind of a weak match here from Dolph Ziggler and Rusev. Lana comes out. She's no longer wearing the business suit. She's wearing like the all-American jean, sort of denim outfit, much like how Ziggler has been dressing for the past few weeks. Since his making, I guess it hasn't been the past few weeks, because he hasn't been on TV. He just made his return on Monday when Lana had her big plan revealed, but he's been wearing the house show gimmick where he's been wearing the denim jackets for a while now. But this match ended in a double countout. Not really much here. Rusev beat down Ziggler. He put him in the accolade, which he held in on the middle of the ring for a really long time. During this, Summer Rae was trying to get involved in the action, cheering for Rusev. Lana, went over and she beat up Summer Rae, which distracted Rusev, who broke the hold. At this point, Ziggler rolled out of the ring once Rusev was able to get his composure back into what was going on in the match. Rusev went to the outside where Ziggler super kicked Rusev. He was stuck up on the announce table. Ziggler tried to get back into the ring, but he did not beat the 10 count, and it was a double count out. No victory, no winner. Ziggler doesn't get anything. Rusev doesn't get anything. But Ziggler got back into the ring, started beating on Rusev after the match. Summer Rae tried to jump in and tried to break up the fight between Ziggler and Rusev. At this point, Lana made the save, beating down on Summer Rae. The chicks were going at it. They were pulled apart by the guys. The crowd booed this. They wanted to see Lana and Summer go at it, but no doubt in my mind, this is what is going to be at the next month of Night of Champions. We're going to get a mixed tag where we're actually going to see Summer Rae and Lana inside of the ring. It was the one thing that people really wanted to see what was going down here. I just see the Steve Amell. I was looking for something much more for him getting into the ring. I thought this was... this is for the next video, but honestly, he does not look like a WWE superstar inside of this ring. I really thought that he was going to be dressing up like the Green Arrow, a show that I've never seen, but I doubt he dresses like this. He's just really wearing just spandex pants out there on the side. He looks like some just dude you would think would be running in to break up a brawl on Monday Night Raw, the guy that you've never seen before. Even that NXT show from last Wednesday that was just a jobber-thon of just match after match of guys that I've never heard of. But crowd booed the double countout. They really wanted to see the chicks go at it. They were yelling, let them go, let them go. Really nothing much more from the match here. Rusev just beat down Ziggler, put him in the hold, and then we had the big rigmarole, the big smalls to end the whole deal with the double countout. No winner here. Moving on to Night of Champions, mixed tag coming our way. Alright, here we go with the big Steve Amell match. Steve Amell and Neville teaming up, going in against King Barrett and Stardust. This is a match that got a lot of fanfare. It did get a lot more attention for WWE than honestly I thought it was going to. I didn't know who Steve Amell was, but there was a big-time buzz about this match coming up because of Steve Amell being big into like sort of Comic-Con, comic book sort of deal, which WWE, gets into. Of course, like they did the big Wizard World in Chicago with the autograph signings of Daniel Bryan, Paige, Undertaker, and more that were there. They see that Amell is the guy that brings in a lot of fandemonium over his CW show, The Arrow. I can honestly say that he brought more attention to WWE than I really thought he was going to. When he came out to the ring, I was thinking that I was going to get a little bit more from him. I thought that the guy really looked in shape when he did the sort of like brawl on Monday Night Raw with the shirt on with Stardust, and got everybody fired up for this match. But once he made his entrance to get down to the ring, and he just was a dude. What the hell is that thing on his back? Does he have a huge staph infection? That thing was huge, whatever the fuck that was. But he just looked like a normal dude wearing tights. He didn't dress up like the Green Arrow, like his character. I don't know if that was a copyright thing that WWE wasn't able to get cleared, or what the deal is. But he just looked like a dude. Nothing really spectacular. He had some abs, but he didn't really have any arms. I'm sure the guy's more fit than I am. But Steve Amell and Neville are able to pick up the win in a very short match. No real buzz to anything going on in this from the crowd. When Steve Amell climbed to the top rope and did a jump off of the top and landing on King Barrett and Stardust, people seemed to get a little bit hyped up about what was going on, but the match was pretty much over from there. Neville hit his red arrow on Wade Barrett, got the 1, 2, 3 to cover it up. From there, Neville and Steve Amell just sort of, stood in the ring and just sort of, yeah, we got the win. Nothing really much from this. Some people will probably say that Steve Amell looked pretty good, but honestly, he did not fit what I thought we were going to get from this guy. Thank you for the publicity. But the match is something that probably in 10 years when we're watching past SummerSlams, we're going to try and remember why the hell this guy was on the show. Hey, what up everybody? This is Steve Breach coming to you here with the Intercontinental Championship 3-way. It was Ryback, Big Show, and The Miz going at it. Of course, the big story was that last month Ryback had the staph infection in his leg and was not able to wrestle. And they ended up keeping the championship on him. But when Ryback made his return, they ended up just doing the match that they were going to do last month. What was the name of that damn show? It wasn't Battleground. Was it Battleground? I can't remember what the name of that damn show was. But of course, it was just mainly about Rollins versus Brock Lesnar in the main event. But they ended up just scrapping this. Big Show came out and knocked Miz out during one of the final segments of the show. There was easy money to think about Ryback winning this match at SummerSlam due to the fact that they wanted to get the belt off of Ryback last month. They just would have named it Big Show versus The Miz for the IC belt and put the belt on the guy that they thought was going to win. Big Show came down, big strong power from this guy, showing how big he is. He sort of took over the start of this match. Miz sort of was like the guy making the hot saves throughout this. But Ryback gets the win when Show knocks out The Miz with a big knockout punch. But Ryback, takes Big Show over the top rope with a clothesline, and he took the pin on Miz for the 1, 2, 3. He's going to keep his belt. I guess it was smart, like I was saying. That just seemed like where a lot of the money was. It was a short match, lots of near falls. They tried to pick up the action with guys hitting big moves, and the other guy just making the save, making sure that there was no pin in here. Nothing really big, nothing really spectacular. Ryback keeps his championship. Where they go from here, not quite sure, but my guess would be Ryback versus the Big Show, seeing how Big Show hit the knockout punch on the Miz, and then Ryback was able to take out Big Show. What this means for Miz, I'm not quite sure. They made a lot of talk about him, being a 4-time Intercontinental Champion, trying to become a 5-time tonight. So maybe they just end up doing this over again. Nothing really special from this match. But it was exciting to see a lot of near falls from these guys going at it. But Ryback keeps the belt. IC champ, Ryback. Lots of matches have happened so far on the Teddy Long Spectacular SummerSlam 2015, and Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose beating Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper was nothing else. It just was another match. I like the fact that this has an old school pay-per-view kind of feel. I like the fact that there's a lot of people wrestling on the card. Almost every WWE superstar you can think of is on the show. Nobody really feels left out. There's a lot of tag team matches. There's a lot of quick matches. They're not giving them a lot of time. But I didn't think that Roman and Ambrose versus Bray and Luke Harper was anything spectacular. I think that the match to beat is still the tag team spectacular that was won by the New Day earlier. It was a fast pace. It opened up really hot. The Wyatts had the advantage throughout the match for the most part. Basically, Reigns was super kicked on the outside. He went over the table and he was out for a long time. Crowd was chanting, Roman's sleeping. Ambrose was inside of the ring. Ambrose was selling for a long time. He was getting his ass kicked by Harper and by Wyatt. Reigns woke up from a slumber shortly after the chant ended, and he got back onto the ramp, or not the ramp, but more like the ring in the corner. And as soon as he stepped up onto the apron, the crowd went bananas, and he got the hot tag almost immediately. He came in and he ran wild. The crowd was really into this one. Basically it was Ambrose and Reigns. They did the double Road Warrior clothesline out of the corner. They hit a double power bomb on the win. Luke Harper was basically the guy who took it, and then the Dirty Deeds was hit on Bray Wyatt, and Roman Reigns then speared Wyatt after that. It felt like the end of this, but then again, for a guy like Roman Reigns, I'm hoping that Bray Wyatt is no longer in his future. He came out of WrestleMania 31, really pushing, really strong, and then just died out as soon as they touched him with Bray. Bray seems to be just a career killer for almost anybody that has an angle with him. Even Undertaker at WrestleMania 31 is the match and the program was so bad that WWE doesn't even want to realize that it happened. But that was your match. Roman and Ambrose getting the win over Bray and Luke Harper. Man, oh man, there's pluses, there's negatives. There's good things, there's bad things that are coming out of this. I honestly liked Cena versus Rollins all the way up until the finish. I honestly didn't think that this match was bad until the very end. I thought it was a very exciting match. I loved the fact when Seth Rollins hit the attitude adjustment on John Cena. I thought that it was over. I thought it was going to be a 1, 2, 3 right there. I liked the fact that Rollins was able to counter the attitude adjustment with sort of backflipping out of it and then jumping up and hitting the kick to the back of John Cena's head. I like the fact, there was a lot of close, sort of near falls. I loved it when Cena locked in the figure four. I really didn't think that Cena was going to win this match. I honestly really believed that I knew that this was going to be a no finish. I really didn't see Seth Rollins walking out with both championship titles, but he did it, and the way that it happened, I just couldn't believe it. Cena locks in the figure four. He's going to win his 16th championship using Ric Flair's move, and the way that he used the intensity to lock that thing in, he put it on and just like, it really just got into what was going on. Cena finally hits the attitude adjustment. It looks like he's going to get the 1, 2, 3 right there in the center of the ring, but there's a ref bump where the ref falls out of the ring. From there, Cena and Rollins tend to wrestle around a little bit. Rollins hits the big knee on John Cena, the same move that broke John Cena's nose on Monday Night Raw about a month ago. I hated the fact that JBL kept on mentioning every time that these guys started punching each other that Cena was guarding his nose. Cena's guarding his nose. That's the nose that he broke on Monday Night Raw. He told us that like 1,000 times during this match, honestly. But a really, really great match. Lots of teases to both of these guys maybe winning this. But when Seth Rollins walked out with his new attire, he basically wears the same attire as before, but instead of it being all black, now his attire is white with some gold trim on it. If you ever thought that he was wearing a Power Ranger outfit, he looks like he's more of a Power Ranger now. I can't remember if the Green Ranger was Tommy or not, but whoever the Green Ranger back in the day, it's as close as you can get to that, but he's got gold trim instead of green trim, so maybe he'll start blowing on the Megazord and the Power Rangers will start coming in and helping his matches next. But honestly, when it comes down to it, when there was no ref, Jon Stewart made its way down to the ring, and I guess when it comes down to it, Jon Stewart coming down is better than Kane. But we still haven't finished this show. Maybe Kane will be involved in the main event between Brock Lesnar and the Undertaker. But I don't know. You can take the best actor in the world and you put him inside of WWE, and they just sort of lose it. I mean, Stewart came running down, and you knew immediately that he was going to hit Cena with the damn chair. He teased the fact that he was going to hit Rollins. Rollins has been showing up on his show. Rollins has been calling him out on Monday Night Raw for the last few months, and they've really been going at it back and forth. They look like they're big-time rivals, and now when it comes down to it, it looks like it was going to be a big master plan all along for Seth Rollins to make friends with Jon Stewart, so Jon Stewart can run out and help him beat John Cena and win the United States title. I have no clue, but we're going to have to see what this goes with Monday Night Raw. But Cena runs down, I'm not Cena, but Stewart runs down, hits Cena in the midsection with a chair. He gets a little lost. He takes the chair and he plants it down in the corner, and then he picks it up like, oh shit, I was supposed to put it in the middle of the ring. He puts it down. Rollins does the final move, hits the pedigree right on the chair in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins is now your double champion, your WWE and United States title. There's nothing that we can do from here. We're screwed. Rollins has got all the titles. Alright, it's time for the Divas Revolution, as that it's the Elimination Divas match. 9 Divas in all. Team Bella, Team PCB, and Team Bad going at an elimination match. This was a really, really long match. I honestly was very surprised. I was a little bit scared that as the match was going on, that it was just going to be over with just girls hitting finisher after finisher as a showcase of all the girls that are inside of this match, instead of just really putting everything over. But at the beginning of this match, Team Bad ran crazy. At the beginning, I believe it was Naomi on the inside. Sasha Banks and Tamina jumped into the ring, attacked both corners, making it where the girls were surprised and they were knocked down. Tamina then sort of took over the match. She was really putting it into everybody, really using that Tamina brute strength over everybody. But it was just it was almost like a real big surprise when Brie pinned Tamina. Team Bad was eliminated from the match, and from there it was Team Bella going up against Team PCB. The Bellas sort of worked the match where they took Paige out of it and really just cut the ring in half, as Charlotte and Becky were having to stay into their corner begging for the hot tag as the Bellas worked over Paige. She took an Alabama Slam out on the porch mat, and from there, she was just really out of it the whole time. Finally, we got the hot tag. and the girls ran wild. There was a spot in the match where basically all the girls were jumping out of the ring. They did the twin magic with the Bellas jumping out of there, and even Alicia Fox, who screwed her part up. She was able to do a flip and land onto everybody on the outside. The finish of the match came with Becky Lynch getting the pin on Bray. She used that big old pump handle slam, and from there, the Bellas had to retreat. It's already pretty much set in stone that Nikki Bella is going to keep the Divas Championship and become the longest reigning champion of all time in the Divas division. But you can definitely tell that, Paige, Charlotte, and Becky all have the power to beat Nikki or any of the Bellas at any time. There's a whole lot of talent there coming in from NXT, and they sort of are the leaders of the Revolution, unless there's some sort of a storyline where the Team PCB splits, one of them turns, something like that. So we'll have to see what goes on in the future. But as of right now, my money is on Paige to be the one to beat Nikki. I think that she's the leader of her group, and she has to be the one to get the win. This was a good match. This honestly would have been probably looked at as if it was a better match, if it would have been better placement on the card. Of course, anytime that you have a 4-hour pay-per-view, even if it's WWE, you're going to have spots in the card where honestly it's going to drag a little bit, because most of the time, WWE shows are only 3 hours. As of right now, I feel like I've been sitting in this chair for a long time, and I am getting tired right now. It's only 12:15, but I worked really hard today, and I'm starting to get a little tired, and it was just bad spot on the card. But honestly, when it comes down to it, this was a very, very good match. This was very fun. You had Kevin Owens and Cesaro, two of the best going in the game right now. Both guys looking for some momentum. By the time this one rolled around and they put the little match thing on the screen saying this was next, I honestly had forgotten about this match and didn't think that it was going. I thought that honestly I was stuck in the old ways where you go Divas match, main event, and I thought that's where they were going. I thought maybe Owens versus Cesaro would have happened on the pre-show, and I just didn't hear about it because I didn't watch the pre-show. But all of the matches that they announced, all of them were on there. I wonder what was on the pre-show. I never heard of any matches, but maybe they had some sort of just, throw those guys out there. Get Adam Rose and Bo Dallas, have them fight each other. I don't know. If there was a pre-show match, let me know down below in the comment section, but I'm not sure. Both of these guys in this were really, really good. Of course, Kevin Owens had one hell of a match just last night against Finn Balor in the ladder match at NXT TakeOver in Brooklyn. In the same arena, he beat the hell out of each other in a ladder match. Coming back and doing a big match against Cesaro where, both these guys are looking for momentum. You got to take your hat off to them. And being able to do this, because honestly, when Kevin Owens was in the feud with John Cena and they announced that they were doing the rematch, I immediately thought there was no way in the world that Owens was going to beat Cena for the U.S. Championship, just because of the fact they wouldn't want Owens to wrestle on both shows. But it turns out that they had Charlotte, they had Becky Lynch, and they had Owens all wrestle on both shows, and you can tell that there's a lot going for all three of them. And Owens needed a win. That was one of the reasons why I really thought he was going to beat Finn Balor, but he ended up getting the win tonight. Cesaro's another guy that needs some momentum behind him, and he needs to get a win as well. More than likely, this is not a one and done. More than likely, we're going to see these guys matched up together, trying to fight to see who's going to be going after some sort of mid-card title. You got Ryback, who needs somebody to go after. I'm not sure if they're going to continue with Big Show and Miz, and then what's going to happen. You've got Seth Rollins with both belts over there. I'm not quite sure what's going to be happening with the United States Championship belt. I don't really see them getting rid of it, and I don't know if we're going to be seeing Seth Rollins defend it week in and week out. But we saw all the big spots from both of these guys. We saw Cesaro do the big swing. We saw the cannonball from Owens. But it was a fisherman suplex out of the corner, followed by a pop-up powerbomb, getting Kevin Owens the win over Cesaro. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to be moving on to Brock Lesnar versus Undertaker in the main event. What an incredible match. Brock versus Taker, the main event of WrestleMania. I'm already thinking about WrestleMania 32. I can't even contain myself. I'm pumped.
I want to grab my luggage, and I honestly want to pack my bags right now for WrestleMania 32. Honestly, last night I was pumped. I was on Skype with my buddy Miguel, my buddy Luke. Luke booked his hotel that he was going to be staying in for WrestleMania 32. You don't get any more fired up, but I can feel it right here. My heart is really beating. I am so pumped. I don't want to say it because I don't mean it, but fuck Bola. I want to go to WrestleMania. Let's hurry up, dude. Let's get this over with. What a match this was here. Honestly, you had Brock Lesnar coming down to the ring first, and then Undertaker comes out, and I stood here for the longest time. I've been sitting here. I finished off where the hell did it go? A 1.5 or 1.25 liter of Coke. I didn't drink the whole thing. I drank some of this at my lunch, brought it home, and I finished it off while I was watching this show. So I really had to go. And as soon as Taker stepped out on the ramp, I went to the bathroom and I came back, and Taker still wasn't even in the ring yet. It just takes forever to get the damn ring. But once he gets in the ring, it's go time. I mean, Brock Lesnar immediately attacks Undertaker in the corner, gets him down onto the mat, and he starts just wearing him down with an elbow. Just, you can really tell, when in the UFC fights, when they get down on the ground, those quick, short little elbows, driving the elbow into the face, that's what really wears you down, more than anything else, because that just fucking hurts. All the weight being put on the pressure of your face, and just with the elbow just dragging it into it, and immediately just fighting off. Taker was getting his ass kicked. He looked like, I've always thought of him as like Clint Eastwood, sort of like that guy making his last stand in the movie Gran Torino. He's got the old man fighting thing, where he's trying to duck his hands way up in the air, but his face is all tucked back so you can't get him. 30 style boxing with the Undertaker, but once these guys really get down into it, my notes are really fucking easy. I mean, F5, chokeslam, tombstone, he kicked out. He laughed back at him. Last ride, kicked out again. F5 number 2, F5 number 3, Hell's Gate, Kimura, what the fuck? Who rang the bell? Hell's Gate, he flipped him off. Taker wins. Oh man, did this happen? See you at 32. It doesn't get any easier than this. I mean, they start fighting around. Brock hits the first F5. He doesn't, I think the Taker kicked out before 2. I'm not 100% sure. Taker comes back. He hits a choke slam, follows it up with a tombstone, goes for the cover. 1, 2. Brock kicks out. They're fighting around on the floor. They're both laid out. Brock sits up and immediately does the fake Undertaker, and he starts laughing at him like he did at WrestleMania 30. And he also did against John Cena at SummerSlam 2014. From there, Undertaker sits up and mocks Brock Lesnar with the... It's just... Oh, this is great. This is awesome. They start fighting. Undertaker bounces off the ropes, hits a last ride. Basically, at that point, we've seen Taker hit every move of his arsenal except for the old school. He hits the last ride. From there, Brock starts getting him, hits him with one F5, follows it up with another F5, goes for the cover, and at this point, Brock is sort of just, what the fuck do I have to do? He's done everything that he could do that beat him the first time at WrestleMania 30. And here he is giving it to him again. Normally, the 3 F5s is enough to put the guy down. From there, we see Brock Lesnar locked into the Hell's Gate, which he's able to turn into the Kimura. And inside of the Kimura, this is when it all gets lost. Basically, the ref starts ringing the bell. We don't know why. Charles Robinson is pissed. He's waving and do not say anything. Do not say anything. He doesn't want anybody to make an announcement. He doesn't want any music to play. Everybody's stunned. Nobody knows what the fuck to do. Paul Heyman jumps into the ring. He slides in thinking that Brock beat Taker yet once again. From there, Robinson, he never really says that the match is going to restart, but he's making sure that nobody says anything. He says, it's not your job, it's my job. Nobody rang the bell. Let's go. Taker sneaks up from behind Brock Lesnar, gives him the good old nut shot right there with the thing, but locks him into the Hell's Gate, and when it looks like Brock is about to pass off, Brock puts his middle finger up, starts flipping off the Undertaker right into his face. And like Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 13, he just fades off into oblivion. At this point, Charles Robinson calls the match off. Taker gets the win officially. Once he leaves, Paul Heyman runs over. He starts dinging the bell. He proclaims that Brock Lesnar is the one who won the belt. They show us the replay, and during the Kimura lock on the floor, Charles Robinson is on the opposite side. He's out of position, and with his right hand being blocked by Brock and Taker, Taker is tapping out against his leg. This is what the timekeeper saw. They made him ring the bell, but Charles Robinson, the referee, did not see. So officially, in the books, Undertaker will get the win. But like I said at the beginning of this video, this only could mean WrestleMania 32. We are getting the rubber match. We are going to get Taker versus Brock, and I'm fucking pumped. Jeez, I'm pumped. See you guys.